I'm gonna tell you a story. And usually I speak a lot, but I'm never given a topic. So this time I didn't pay attention to the topic that I did go back and say. So let me tell you, the topic for Business Week is the future of business. But I really ask you the future of you. I'm telling you this quick story, true story. In the early 50s, off the coast of Japan, there was a group of islands. One island in particular was called Fukushima. What scientists found in looking at these islands, that Fukushima was inhabited by nothing but monkeys. Thousands and thousands of monkeys. And the scientists found out that these monkeys love the sweet potato. So what they do on a regular basis, they fly airplanes over the island and drop out tons of sweet potatoes on the beach. So what they noticed also was the monkeys would come grab the sweet potato off the beach and eat it, but it was gritty. So one day, a female monkey, they say females are smarter than men, a female monkey grabs a sweet potato and goes to the ocean and watches it. Okay? Over time, more and more monkeys take the sweet potatoes to the ocean and watch the sweet potatoes. Okay. So more and more monkeys are taking the sweet potatoes to the ocean and watching it. One day, for no reason scientists, anthropologists could document or verify. Nothing that they could put their arms around scientifically to prove. One day, at the very same moment, every monkey on Fukushima watched their sweet potatoes at the same time. That's not the important thing. On an island, 4 or 5 miles away, separated by communication, time, and space, as all the monkeys on Fukushima watched their sweet potatoes, the monkeys on the other islands watched theirs too. So I ask you, who's going to be the 100th monkey? The one who changes the political landscape. The one who invents the cure for cancer. The one who changed the business atmosphere. That's the 100th monkey. The future of business is an answer. The future of business is you. Okay? The future of business is you. And let me tell you why. Every generation in mankind's history, people in New York or Dallas or a 50-story building somewhere told you what you wanted. They told my generation what they wanted. They told my father-in-law's generation what they wanted. They told his generation what you wanted. So Dr. Cavell's generation, they told our generation what we wanted. Somebody said, everybody's going to wear pink this year. Everybody wear pink. You're the first generation in mankind's history to make producers and service providers give you what you wanted. Before, when when Henry Ford came up, when the first Ford cars came off the line, you couldn't get a blue one. You couldn't get a red one. Companies gave you what you wanted. Now, when I worked at IBM, you had one black computer. You had a black laptop. You couldn't get a pink one. You couldn't get a green one. Your generation is changing the way business is done every minute. And I'll get to that later. I talk about there's no more trends and theories. Before, when a new product came out, you know what they did? They got some people. This is the word my daughter used, random people. Okay, they get some people, they put them in a room, and they test the product. They test the product, and then they roll it out. I remember when I was a kid, you couldn't get a Pepsi and show the logo, and a Coke, am I right? A Coke and show the logo and do a taste test. You couldn't do it. You have to cover it up. You'd be brands X and Y. Talking about creating trends and doing different. This is what I tell students. To be successful in today's environments and to really, really achieve your goals, you know, they say, look down the street, look ahead, look down the street. No. You got to look down the street and around the corner to be really, really successful. I'm going to tell you about a guy who looked down the street and around the corner. There was this young man, his last name was Lipowitz. He was in New York. And he came up with this ugly little design and put it on ties. And he went to Bloomingdale's and Macy's and Neiman Marcus and tried to get the buyers to buy this ugly little tie. They said, nobody wants to buy a clothing item with an emblem on it. And they kicked him out of the store. Kicked him out of Macy's, Neiman's, every store in New York. So what does Mr. Lipowitz do? He walks up and down, the garment district, giving these ties away. Giving hundreds away, just giving them away. Next thing you know, his ties are the hottest thing in New York City. So you got all these young business people running to Bloomingdale's and Macy's and Neiman's trying to buy a tie. They can't buy it. He has it. You know who that man had to give his ties away to get them in the stores? His real name is Lipowitz. We call him Ralph Lauren Polo. Okay. Today's business environment has changed so dramatically over the last 10 years because of you. You know what I call your generation? The microwave generation. More, quicker, faster, better. Okay? Today's environment is about real world users. You better not have a product today and say, here, take this. It's going to sit on the shelf. Today, businesses and marketers, they come to your generation to figure out what's going on. I'll tell you what, I'm 58 years old. Didn't get my first rap CD till about 3 or 4 years ago. Okay. But I play them real loud. Okay. But let me tell you what I found out about the rappers. Elvis, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, they don't have an energy drink, they don't have headphones, and they don't have a clothing line, do they? These guys brought urban America to the masses. No other, the only other group that has done it like the rappers are the immigrants. To be successful in the immigrant market, you got to go to their culture. I remember reading a couple of weeks ago about a big Latin campaign years ago, and the person who translated it into Spanish wasn't Spanish, and they put the wrong ad out. Can you imagine? A multi-million-dollar ad, it's wrong. So today, it's about real-world users. The future of business is really about shared experiences. I was asked something a few minutes ago when I was doing something. I think I was doing like an ad for the Business Week. And I said, businesses today, it's amazing watching your generation. Everybody has a phone. You know, a couple of years ago, I had an iPad, I had an iPod, and I had a phone. I said, man, I want one gadget that does everything, okay? Because let me tell you something about my generation. My generation. Let me say, you guys are natives to technology. My generation, we're immigrants. We're just getting the hang of this. I watch my 8-year-old grandson grab my phone, locks it, messes it up, does Lego and all these things. He's downloading apps that I can't download. And he's 8, and I got a college degree, and he makes C's. But you guys got this thing. You have the greatest number by percentage of multimillionaires, of billionaires, of business owners, of new company startups. Your generation. About 2 months ago, two 21-year-old guys in Arlington, they only got 20 million apiece for an app. They just got 20 million. Okay? Your generation, my generation, again, we were told what we wanted. We had no say-so. Consumers today, they tell the market what they want. That's the wave of business. When I was in corporate America, it worked. The bureaucracy, and I got a great story. The bureaucracy and hierarchy went down. They told you what you're going to get. The product looked like that, and that was it. You got one choice. It's not like that today. The future of business, I'm going to read this, is about connectivity. The new digital age, my daughter's in Europe, she's got a job with I didn't even know what, she said digital marketing, I didn't even know what she was talking about, okay? The way we see the workplace as I knew it, and it exists today, is changing. You won't go to the office. Let me tell you something about your generation again, and about how the workplace has to change to you. Because you know what? You possess the greatest amount of education, talent, and ability than any other group in mankind's history. I guarantee you, I could not come to IBM in an interview with jeans and my shirt tail out. You guys do it all the time. My business casual is not having on a tie. Your business casual is flip-flops, okay? But the market changed for you. You know why? You're talented. You're skilled. You bring the greatest amount of knowledge to the table. That's why marketers and businesses and corporations change on a dime for you. They don't change for me. They change for you because of the skill set you bring. Technology is doing something amazing. That's why I'm an immigrant, okay? It has broke down all the barriers we've ever seen. It breaks down geography. I talk to my daughter 3 times a day, and she's in Manchester, England. Send her 5 texts. She's in England. It's broken down the personal barriers. Because I'll tell you what, if I want to market to, what's your name?
Quinn.
Quinn. If I want to market to Quinn, I can't tell Quinn, we're going to wear these black slacks this year with the black bell-bottom slacks. Quinn ain't hearing me. Quinn is not hearing me. Quinn wants to wear what he wants to wear, when he wants to wear it, and number 1, comfortable. I mean, it's amazing. You know what? I'm on the College Board of Business Advisory Committee, and I was in a meeting one day, and they said, out of all the metropolitan schools, SMU, TCU, North Texas, whatever, UTA puts out the best qualified, the most skilled. But they have a problem interviewing because of the way they come to the interview. So you tell me, I'm like this. Maybe I'm not so concerned about, I don't want the talented one. I want the skilled one. I want the one that's willing to work. I got up about 3:15 this morning, went for like about a 2.5-mile jog, kind of practice a little bit. I really don't practice for lectures because I'm trying to talk about topics, and one about the class I was going to talk to. But the whole time I'm jogging, and I do this most mornings, and I'm thinking about one thing, the future of business. You know what the future of business also, along with you, is about being better. It's about change. It's about innovation. It's about creativity. No other generation does it like you guys. When I read a Fortune or a Forbes or an Inc. magazine, I'm constantly saying, where did he get that from? How did he come up with that? You know how the guy came up with cloud? You know the story? He has a big presentation in downtown New York. He's waiting for a cab, and he loses his flash drive. He lost his flash drive. So he came up with all the analytics and whatever to come up with cloud. Creativity, innovation. What did I call y'all? Microwave generation, quicker, more, faster, better. Look what Uber. I set up in a meeting with some people from Uber. And my common sense is, I remember the first time I was in D.C., my daughter said, let me call Uber. What? About 4 or 5 years. I said, what is that? Oh, they come pick you up. Well, call a cab. But you got to understand the dynamics of where your whole entire generation has changed business. You don't want to wait on a cab. You want a guy in a clean vehicle come pick you up and take you to one spot. And the meter ain't running. You want a device that operates in milliseconds. You want all it. I tell you what, Who in the room knows what a Encyclopedia Britannica is? Put your hand down, you don't know. Okay? Because when I had to do a book report in high school, I had to find a book. What do you guys do? You Google it. I got to go through all these pages and pages and pages, and you get the information how quick? Instantly. What was the book we used to use when I was in college where you could kind of cheat? Cliff Notes. Y'all don't even need Cliff Notes. You can do a whole thesis from right here. I might have to plagiarize a little and change it. You know, one thing about going forward in business, that there was an alpha notion, okay? The alpha notion, let's call America like it is. There's a male with that cigar, okay, with his feet up on the desk, deciding. Have you guys ever heard of the comprehensive plan? The comprehensive plan is in every city. I'm talking about urban planning now. The comprehensive plan is in every city in America. And there's guys with cigars, feet up on the desk, deciding where neighborhoods are going to be, where the malls are going to be, where the new roads are going to cut through. we're going to buy my buddies 100 acres, okay, and build a development over here. That's what the comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan doesn't work for your generation. Because you know what? You're doing the opposite of every business model since the 50s. Every business model since the 50s, people are moving away from the city. And what are you guys doing? Moving back to the city. I live downtown Fort Worth. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Didn't think I love it, but I love it. Okay. One of the scariest things to me, not really scary, it's different. You know, they say the only person that likes change is a wet baby. I'm kind of like that wet baby. And when they say the business model, the workplace will be obsolete. When I thought about people who work from home, I said, what do they do? Do they watch TV? Do they sleep? How can you get any work done? You're at home. But your generation, and one's maybe in their 30s, this is part of the way they've been brought up. That's a marketing tool. I know a lot of people go into work one day a week. And they don't physically go in. They go in virtually. Okay? They're going that's what the workplace today is about virtual. It's about speed. It's about connectivity. I don't need, look what I got today. I got all this stuff. Pretty much they can both pretty much do the same thing. I can't really read Dropbox on my phone, okay? But they do the same thing. I got some stuff for you guys that are late. And then another thing, the salaries, benefits, education, and training in the marketplace is changing because of you guys. You guys aren't like my generation, motivated by money, are you? No, you're really more concerned about your lifestyle and the quality of life. You're not so concerned like we were about getting a BMW, okay? You're happy to go into work on a bike. Okay, keep going, okay? You're concerned about the quality of life and the value of life you live and the grass being green and the birds flying. The generation I brought in, we were trying to drive BMWs, I promise you. Not that it was a bad thing. The workplace is continually changing. Salaries are going to be more like incentives. Benefits are going to be like a smorgasbord. You pick what you want. And education and training that wore me out at IBM, it's not going to be like that anymore. It's going to be better. It's going to be mentorships and apprenticeships. That's where you really learn. I'll tell you what. I told somebody once, we brought a consultant into our company, and the woman was charging us an outrageous amount an hour. And I walked in the meeting, I listened to her 20 seconds, and I said, you can't tell me nothing, I know everything. And I walked out of the meeting. Because if you make $5 million a year, the person that needs to be mentoring you needs to make $20 million a year. What can a bench warmer tell LeBron James? Nothing. You can't tell him nothing. What can the average athlete tell Floyd Mayweather about money-making potential? He makes more in one night, $120 million, than the average athlete makes in 2 lifetimes. It's about where you want to learn from. It's about and how you want to learn. Okay? I don't want to take a semester class. I want to take a 2-day class. My attention span is short, and I want to learn that one thing. I don't want to learn no theories, and I don't want to learn no trend. That's the great thing about you guys. You don't want no theory. You don't want no trends. You want that one thing. You want that one thing that's going to help you start your business. You want that one thing that's going to help you have an invention. You're going to have this one thing for you to go to the CEO of the company and say, if we do this, we save $20 million. You don't need 10 things, you just need one. I'll tell you what, Coca-Cola just makes soda. GM just makes cars. You don't need but one. One thing that you'll see going forward in today's business, because our world is constantly changing, the world is getting smaller, we're getting so diverse. Everything is the concerns businesses had before, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, race, gender, ethnicity, sexual origin. These were all big concerns in marketing. They're no longer those concerns because businesses understand that I have to include everybody. Because if I don't, there's another business over there that will. Okay? I'm going to read you guys some facts about the future business that I thought was crazy. Over 40% of the companies that were in the Fortune 500 in the year 2000 are no longer there. Out of business or gone. New companies in the last 10 years, the Fortune 500 list has grown almost 60%. By the end of the year, there will be more mobile connected devices, phones, computers, laptops, tablets, than there are people on Earth. This year, there's projected that Facebook will have 1 billion network users. By the year 2030, there will be, they project there's about 7 billion people. They will think about 2/3 of the global population will be middle class. But middle class is a relative thing depending on what country you are. Do you know the average person with a mobile phone, and I'm saying you because I don't do it, you check your phone, if you answer this right, my wife ain't gonna like this. I treat you and your friends lunch. The average person checks their phone how many times a day? 150 times. That's you're my generation. We check about 40. I think yours about 150. Okay. In the year 2017, that's next year, 90% of all internet traffic will be videos. Okay. Most of the people from your generation, they do not work for Fortune 500 companies. They work for startups or self-employed. Okay. Your generation, they trust the first line employer, whatever they say, but they don't trust the CEOs. The average content of a shopper, and what the content he consumes to look for, pick a good and service has doubled in the last 2 years. 70% of the people in the Millennium and Gen X generation prefer small companies over large companies. And they found in looking at your generations and the work they do that it's 7 times more expensive to acquire a new customer than to keep an old one. But what I've learned about the future business that's so amazing to me. I mean, I graduated college in 1980. I try to stay abreast of business trends and theories and what's new and what's hot. Because just think about it. I have a cleaning company. Okay? Clean toilets for a living. How did my company get recognized by Harvard twice? How does a cleaning company appear in Forbes, Fortune and Inc., last year. Okay? Why? Something your generation does greatly. My generation and previous generations were not so good at. You know what you guys do that we didn't do? You do everything with excellence. You do everything with excellence. When I read these stories about these kids, I'm saying kids, getting these astronomical amounts of money, I'm like, and the whole time I'm reading the article, I'm saying, how did they come up with this? Because you guys grew up with this in your hand, technology. That's the greatest, one of the greatest gifts to mankind, is you can do things. When you put the power of the mind to this, oh my God. My generation, we didn't have this. You had a pencil and a Big Chief tablet. You guys have access to information. You have access to knowledge. You have access to make things happen. My generation and previous generations, we had to wait for them to happen, if they ever did. The way products come down the pike now and people grab them are crazy. I tell you what, mention a product, drink, shirt, pair of jeans. Let a rapper wear it. Let an athlete wear it. Let a movie star wear it. And it's the hottest thing going. I kept hearing this. I kept hearing Fetty Wap talking about Robin jeans. That's why I had to Google it, because I wanted to see what they were. Okay? I had never seen them. I had never heard them. I said, this is a new jean? So I said, I never heard of them. I Googled it. Oh, yeah, it's a new jean. Okay? When these guys, your whole generation does this. And the funny thing about it, they do it without knowing. You constantly change the market. You make Madison Avenue come to you. It's never happened in mankind. I remember one time I went to an event and everybody had on the same color. I tell you what I have been kind of noticing in business environment, everybody downtown has on brown shoes. Next time you go downtown, watch. That light brown. Okay? Every man. It's a new thing in vogue. Because your generation wouldn't dare do that. You'll wait in line for 2 hours to buy some Jordans. Why? I don't know. Okay? Or buy that, what's the new thing, pink, that the girls wear? Okay, you buy some pink, you do that, or some Jordans. Why is he laughing at me? But it's about culture. It's about you have changed the landscape of business. Never in American history has a consumer told a business and told the business model and told the decision makers, this is what we want, and we ain't gonna take this stuff. We're not gonna take what you're giving us. It's never happened in business history. Never happened. It's amazing when I look at your generation, because it moves so fast. You come up with text messages, then you come up with Twitter, okay? Then we got YouTube and videos, now you got Periscope. It changed, I can't even remember. It changes so fast, you can't even keep up with it. By the time I get one down, there's a new one coming. So I'm still a native. I'm not a native yet. I'm still an immigrant. But your generation has this. And like I said, the future of business is not a question, it's an answer. And the future of business is you. Thank you for having me.